Welcome back. This time you got me in person. When I made the last video, I didn't have any makeup on and I had my tracksuit on. So this time you've actually got me a little more decently dressed this time. We're going to create a new job and I'm going to show you what happens when we choose no close match. And I'm going to walk you through the guided job targeting process as well as the center stakeholders so that you can see how to manage that. So I'm going to create a job here called Project Manager. And you'll see that immediately Predictive Index will start to populate some benchmark positions. At least I hope it will. Now it's going to tell me no close match. That's good because that's what we want. So I'm going to click no close match. I'm going to put it in the correct folder. And I'm going to create job. Right, so it tells me success, and this is what I get to see. So I've got three options here: the guided job targeting process, the send to stakeholders process, and the skip and set target manually option. Now, as I've said in the copy, it's highly unlikely that you will ever use the skip and set target manually option. You really need years and years of experience behind you to be able to set a target manually. So we only recommend it for people who are absolutely expert in PI, and in a few years' time, who knows, you might be. So at this time, I'm not going to show you how to use that one at all. I'm going to start off with the guided job targeting process. We would use this option when we've perhaps got a room full of a few people together, people who know the job really, really well. And you, instead of getting everyone to do it independently, we're going to do it sitting together in a room and all choosing the options. So let me click on that and I'm going to show you what that looks like so that you can see if you ever wanted to do this with a couple of other people, this is how you would do it. So we're going to click here and it automatically takes me through to an assessment page. Just like the behavioral assessment, there are options here, and the things that I would draw your attention to looking through these lists is that we're looking for items or tasks that we consider to be important and frequent aspects of the job being analysed. Now, one of the things that I find we all slip into sometimes is we start thinking about the person in the job and we say, oh, do they do that? Do they do that? We have to move away from the person and we need to concentrate on the job itself. So it's always thinking about the job. Is this a task that is important and frequent in this job, or we would like it to be in this job? Also think about second line, items that you consider critical to successful performance of this particular position. And you know, that's really what we're looking for the whole way through is are these things critical to this job? Are they frequent and important? And so together in the group that you're with, say, you know, we usually say no more than 5 people. 3 is a good number as well. You're going to say to yourself, okay, this job of project manager, does it require frequent checking of details of work for accuracy? And I would say, yes, it does. Is it important and a frequent part of this job that the person, whoever it is that's doing this job, meets scheduled deadlines? Yes, it is. Is it essential that they're calm and patient at all times? No, probably not. I don't think that's an important part of the job. Is it about developing friendly personal relations with others? Sometimes it is, because project managers need to make sure that they've got the buy-in of other people. So I might tick that. You will go through and together work out what this job looks like. Now I'm going to get myself out of here and I'm going to go back to this screen and now show you how we would send to stakeholders. And then I want to walk you through that process again, and we'll jump ahead a little bit in between times. So this is if we want multiple people to contribute to the job. So let me click on send to stakeholders. What we've got here is a screen that asks us for names of people that we want to invite to do this job. Now I'm going to invite myself, and I do this anyway sometimes because people sometimes ask me to profile the job as well. So let me just find myself in here. There I am. And if I wanted to add someone else, obviously I could add Joe Brown and find Joe's email address and so on. At the bottom here, you'll see it. There's a little box that says take the job assessment as well. I recommend you do not ever take this job assessment as well. So don't tick that. If you want to take the job assessment, put your own name into the assessment field. The reason for that is, and I discovered this the hard way, is that when you tick that box, take the assessment as well, you only get half of the assessment. You get the behavioral half and not the cognitive half. And then you actually can't do any more. So you have to go back, cancel that out, delete it, and start again. So don't tick that box. There's one other thing I'm just going to bring your attention to here. You might see at the top it says pick a role model. That's if you have someone who is doing an outstanding job of this position already, and you think, wow, I'd like to clone that person, that would be fantastic, we can actually add that person in here. So let me type Alicia's name in here, for instance, Alicia Lykos. So I'm just going to put her in there. That's going to go looking for her behavioral report, and it's going to use her as a benchmark for this particular role because she's doing such a good job of it already. Now, I actually know that Alicia wouldn't be a good fit for this job, so I'm going to take her out. But you'll see that then you've got someone who's actually doing the job well, and you can see their profile, and then you can compare it to the other people that are in there as well. I'm just trying to rack my brains if I can think of anyone who's probably a good match for a project manager's role. Not off the top of my head. So let me take her out of there. Now I'm going to, once I've filled in my stakeholders, I'm going to take Joe's name out of here because I don't have him. If I've got 4 or 5, you can see I can add a contributor. So I can add as many as I like here. You don't want to do more than 5 because it will get unwieldy. And you'll see why in a minute. I'm going to show you someone's job that is, when people disagree on what happens. And then I'm going to say confirm. So the minute I say confirm, I get a success message, and I've now got a blank job for project manager. And you can see on this screen that it says Dawn Russell's been sent the job, and I can also send again. So if you've got someone who doesn't get round to it, you can send again right from this screen. So that's the process for sending a job assessment. And let's go having a look now in my emails, and I should be able to find, here it is. So take the PI job assessment. So this is exactly what your stakeholder would get. They click on that link and you'll see they've got a link right here that says click here to begin the job assessment. It also tells you to complete it in a quiet place and in one session. It typically takes between 10 to 15 minutes, to be honest, and you've got various browsers that it will work in. And you can see here it's actually given me 9 days to complete this assessment. So I'm going to click on that and let's see where it takes us to. Welcome to the job assessment, the name of the job. It's me completing it, and it does ask, this is for data collection, nothing else. Is this someone currently in the position, as in the person completing it? Who are they? So I'm just going to tick other for now, but you might be the supervisor or whatever you may be. And we'll click continue. Here's our instructions again. So thinking about important frequent aspects of the job and aspects of the job that we consider critical to successful performance. Let's continue. And so again, it looks a little different, doesn't it? But the questions or the selections are all the same. And look, I'm just going to tick a few of them at the moment so that I can show you what's on the next couple of pages. So you've got 3 pages of this. Can you see the progress bar here? So let's just pick a couple and move on. And then we'll pick a couple here and move on. And once I've got to the 3rd one, I now get to the cognitive instructions. So this tells me what each of the different levels of cognition basically look like. So if we were, this one's a minimal amount of ability for the job. Intermediate means they need a moderate amount of ability to do the job. Advanced and so on. And some jobs, of course, don't require this particular thing at all. So you can choose none. And we've got, again, 3 screens here that we're going to go through. So let's just look at the first one. The first one says, what abilities are going to be required for success most often? And so this one is about memorization or remembering information. Does this job need a person who frequently memorizes just a few pieces of information or data? Is it about frequently memorizing multiple details and or facts? Is it about frequently memorizing large amounts of information or data? Or this job does not require any memorization? And so a lot of jobs don't require any memorization. So we might choose none for that one. Planning and organizing, creating plans or structure. Majority of the time, is it spent planning tasks and goals just for the day? Is it about planning multiple tasks and goals spanning days or weeks? Or is it about the majority of time spent looking for goals that are spanning years or months? So I might click intermediate, for instance, and on we would go through that screen. Oh, it's not going to let me do this. Anyway, you're going to go through 3 screens. I'm not going to do them all. And at the end of it, it will say submit. And then we've got our job target. It's done. And in the next video, I'm going to show you what happens next.